it's Miss Lauren here, and I'm going to try making a castle out of 2 toilet paper rolls and a piece of a cereal box. So I have not tried this before. We will see how it goes, and let's get started. All right, so I've got my, actually I need to grab another, I'm gonna use a marker because I accidentally broke my pen when I was trying to make something just a little bit ago. All right, so I've got a marker and I've got my cereal box here. I'm gonna take one of my toilet paper rolls and just to kind of measure, so this is the only cereal box piece that I have right now, so this is as high as I can make my tallest tower. So I'm using the fold so I'll be able to have a kind of floor. And let me use my straight edge to mark how tall this is. All right, so to mark this, I'm gonna just put a little dot at the top and then a little dot at the bottom. And so this is the same measurement all the way across. So I'm gonna come over to this side, line up my bottom mark with the bottom fold here, and then make a mark at the top. And to make sure I have the right angle, I'm gonna use this little fold in my straight edge to line up, oops, there we go. I'm gonna use this side because that one has a little bump in it. Okay, so I'm lining up my straight edge with the bottom, and I'm gonna draw that line there. Okay, and then I'm gonna come over here, line up this fold with the side so that it's the right angle. Actually, the right angle is a right angle, which is a 90-degree angle. So that's a little pun for you. All right. These, I'm just gonna try to get my straight edge. So it's not the perfect straight edge ever, but that's okay. All right. So that is gonna be the height of my castle. And to make a, let's see. So this is going to be more of a side of the castle rather than the whole castle because I don't have a lot of space right here. So, okay, so about halfway. Okay, so I'm going to make it, for size purposes, I'm going to make it about this wide. Let me see if that'll fit on here. All right, so again, I'm going to kind of mark it on here with my first one and that one. And the second one is going to be, here, let me go from this side. Okay. All right. So my second mark, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So this is going to be my front. And then this mark right here is going to be for the side. And then I'm going to want to measure the big one for the back. And then the little one for the other side. Okay, and same thing across the top. I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna line up, make my big one for the front, little one for the side. Same thing, big one for the back, and then little one for the side. And I'm gonna leave a little extra for a flap. All right, then I'm gonna come over here, line up my fold down here with the bottom edge so that I can make a straight line. And then just connect the dots top to bottom. Okay, so you should have a big side, a little side, a big side, and a little side. Now I am going to, first I'm going to cut this a little bit because I don't need it to be that wide. Probably going to have to cut that down a little bit more. I'm going to okay, so I'm going to cut out the outside of everything I just drew. I'm going to come and cut to the straight lines and stop at that fold. Oops, that was a little bit too far, that's okay. Go. Let's see, I think I might make this my roof actually. So this is going to be the top and this is going to be the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to make a door. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to draw. If I want it to swing outwards, I'm going to draw an upside down L. And if you want it to swing up, I'm just going to make a door on the other side so that people could get through. So if you want it to swing up, you're just going to draw 2 lines. Okay. And then try to cut just on those lines. So just squeeze just enough so that it cuts on the line, and try not to squeeze too hard so that it goes over the line. So just enough to stop right at the end of that line. Same thing here. Okay. So for the one to fold, to go up, you're going to fold it up. And then this one, to open outward, you're going to fold it along the side there so it opens out. And I'm going to give this castle, let's see, I'm going to do 2 windows. So my window is going to be, let's see, okay. So I have to cut 2 where the bottom of them is going to be. And then I have to cut, if you don't want to have to cut to them, you're going to have to ask your parents for some help if they have an X-Acto knife to cut out the windows without cutting the wall to them. Let's see, and if it's too hard to cut that, you can kind of cut on an angle across because we're not going to use that side anyway. Oh, there's one. The important part about doing these little tiny details is that you go slow and steady, and either line up your scissors so the end of them is perfectly on your line, or you have to cut slow and steady so that you stop exactly at the end of the line. Okay, so I'm going to use some tape to reinforce that. a little wide. I'm going to use a smaller piece. Come over here, tape on the back. So I've got tape on both sides of those cuts. Okay, and now, so I've got my doors, my two windows, and I'm going to fold on these vertical lines that I made. So the lines are on the outside. Okay, this one too. This is our little flap for the tape. Okay. So I'm definitely going to have to cut these a little bit shorter. They will not fold down together. So these cannot be wider than the side, otherwise they won't close. Okay. Get this ready to close. All right, so I'm going to put some tape with the sticky side out on that little flap and line up the front corner. And it goes a little bit over that doorway. So I'm just going to cut the tape just a little bit so that I can fold it up on the door. Okay, and I am going to have to put a little piece of tape inside there or go on the outside of it to keep it closed. And I'm just going to go on the outside of it this time. Okay, so now I've got one side with the door that opens up, and I've got the other side with the door that opens out and two windows. Okay, so we're going to have to put our toilet paper roll on before, yeah, actually, I don't know if we can have a roof. So I'm going to cut off these sides because we definitely won't need them. We might be able to have a roof with these, but I'm not sure yet. Okay. So you don't need this one either. Okay. So I'm going to cut in a little bit from the edge. Just a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm making a little space for our toilet paper rolls to go on. Okay, so I cut off the side flaps and I cut in a tiny rectangle. So one line, and then one line. So I'm going to to the fold and one line on the fold, a little bit, so that I have two holes on the sides. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to hold up the paper towel roll or toilet paper roll. See how far over it's going to be able to go. And then I'm going to make a little dot on the toilet paper roll. And I'm also going to I'm going to measure to see, I'm going to get them both level at the bottom. And I'm going to make a little mark. It can be halfway on the house part, as long as it's at the same place on both. I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, so come over here so that it's even with that bottom. I'm going to make a little, mine's a little bit on my painter's tape, but I can still see it. Okay. And then what you're going to do, I'm going to cut down from the top to on the house part, I'm going to cut down from the top on the corner to the painter, to that little mark that I made. And on the toilet paper roll, I'm going to cut up to that little mark. Okay, and then I'm going to fit the pieces together. Try to. Okay. They should kind of fit inside of each other. There we go. I can tape that roof together now. Could have done that before too. All right. So I've got one side on. Okay, and then same kind of thing. I'm gonna make a little mark on the toilet paper roll where it's gonna be able to go to fit. So I line it up with the edge and I make a tiny little mark at the bottom where those two sides are. I'm going to hold it up so that the bottoms are even. And I want to make sure that these two lines are still kind of, the two dots are on the right sides. And then I'm going to make a little mark on both at the same height on each. It doesn't matter if the front is the same height as the back, just as long as the height on the toilet paper roll and the house thingy is the same. Okay, so I'm gonna come here, let me close my marker so I don't get it dried out. All right, I'm gonna cut up on the toilet paper roll to that little dot. Oops, that was way too far, but that's okay. And then up to the other little dot. And then on the house part, I'm gonna cut down from the corner. Okay. Now I'm going to take my two pieces and fit them together. That one slid in a lot more easily than the other. And there you go. You got a little castle. And if you want to make a top for the two sides, you can do that by making a circle. Let's see. I'm going to make this one out of paper because I don't have any more of the thin cardboard left. So let me grab a piece of paper. If you want to use construction paper, it's a little bit thicker, so it'll be a little bit more sturdy than others. And you have to find something circular. I'm just going to use my tape right here. Let's see, do I have enough room? Yeah, I've got enough room for two of the big sides, so I'm going to go around the outside and trace, just like a stencil. Okay, and that's close. Yep, okay. And then around the outside, trace. So I have to hold it steady with one hand and then push my marker along the outside so that it stays right up on it, and that makes the circle. All right, so I'm going to cut out the circles. Oops. I see that this actually had a cut in it, but that's okay. I'll just tape that. There you go. If you need cutting practice, just head over to my other video that reviews cutting, scissor grasp. You can always ask a parent for help, or an older sibling, or anyone who's willing to help you. Okay, there we go. So to make the cone kind of top for these little turrets, what I have to do with the circle is put a dot in the middle. All right, so let me put a dot in the middle. I don't know the exact middle, so I'm just going to kind of make a guess there. Okay, and then, all right, since this piece has a little cut through it, I'm going to use this side. I'm going to go right near that cut. So I'm not going to go on the cut, I'm going to go right next to it. And I'm going to cut straight to that center dot. And then when I do that, so I've got a circle with a little cut in it, you should be able to slide the pieces together underneath, and that makes a little cone top. And then you can tape it. Okay. You can cut off the extra part underneath if you want, or you can just leave it there. And I'm gonna make mine, let's see. So I'm gonna tape the inside first so that I don't have too much of the tape showing. And just like on my house, I'm gonna make a little, actually I didn't do it on this one, but I'll show you how to do it on this. I'm gonna make a tape ball with the sticky side out. So I'm gonna fold it over. And I'm gonna put it right along the edge of this cone, the inside, and squeeze, and that'll hold the pieces together without showing the tape. All right, so again, I'm just gonna kind of estimate the middle. I'm going to, it's a little off, that's okay. And if you do have a ruler, you can do that. And if you also, you can make Where did I put my, okay, so if you have an empty yogurt, whatever container that's a circle, you can poke a little tiny hole. Most of them have a little kind of thing that pops up right in the middle, and you can use, I actually accidentally broke my pen making this hole. So definitely ask a parent for help. And however you want, you can make a little hole there. And that way, when you trace it, you can use a pen, put your marker directly in the middle so that you'll have exactly where that middle is, if you want to be very precise. Okay, but I'm not really concerned about precision. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, it's a little off, so that's okay. I'm gonna try to make it about the same height as my other cone over here. So, yeah, so when it's not in the middle, that's when the sides will kind of be off a little bit, but that's okay. And I can try, if I cut a little bit further, although I think let's see, you can also fold, or you don't have to fold it completely. Let's see, is that working? If you fold your circle and then cut, let's see if that works. I don't know if that's gonna change it much. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit better. Anyhow, get a little piece of tape. And I'm gonna tape the inside down. And then I'm gonna make a tape ball for the outside. Folding the tape with the sticky side out. I'm gonna put it right up along the edge of the outside piece. There we go. And push that down. And there is my castle. I need to, let's see, I'm gonna try to figure out how to tape it on there without showing much of the blue tape, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Oh, I could, yeah, okay, so I could, it's a little far to reach in there, but I could try going from the outside, or from the inside, I mean. All right, so I'm gonna put some tape with the sticky side facing out, one on each turret here. Let's try this. Okay, and then I'm going to, let's see, it's not really staying down, so I'm going to put another, let's try 2 sticky sides out. And stick it on there. And then I can't reach in there, so I'm going to use my marker and kind of push that tape down in there. Kind of rub it along where the paper is so that it sticks a little bit. There we go. Okay. So 2 pieces of tape with the sticky side out. And if you're using Scotch tape, it might be a little bit different than the painter's tape because the painter's tape is a little bit thicker, so it kind of keeps its form a little bit better. So you can play around with it, see if it works with the Scotch tape. Or if you have glue, you can just put a little bit of glue around the top of your toilet paper rolls. Okay, here we go. And with my marker. Trying to get that tape. There we go. Okay, cool. So here is a castle. And if you want to color over that tape, that's fine. Or if you didn't make any windows, then you won't have that tape on the outside there. But yeah, you can paint it, you can color it, whatever you have to color with, you can use that. And if you made the one that goes up, kind of like a drawbridge, there you go. There's a castle. All right, so there is a castle with 2 toilet paper rolls, a cereal box top or any kind of box, and then I used a little bit of construction paper for the tops. There you have it. And if you wanted to make, again, I only had a little bit of cereal box, but if you have a big piece, you can make 3 more of these, so 4 of these all together, and you need 2 more toilet paper rolls, but you can make 3 other walls so that you have a square and it's a castle. Hope you had fun. See you next time.